Super high. It's Honeybee Henderson, and I'm doing Facebook and Insta at the same time, so that's super fun. I wanted to share with you all a little bit about my personal process and what's been coming up for me, and I feel like maybe this guidance might help a lot of us. So here we are sharing. I have I've been really thinking a lot about my connection to the flow state and how over time it's gotten a lot easier to surrender, to let go, and to actually receive a lot of gifts, a lot of guidance, and a lot of gifts. And what happens when the guidance isn't there? That's the sort of feeling that I've been in these last few weeks coming back to LA, is that there's this guidance, but it feels like there's some kind of blockage there. So, this is a constant evolution for all of us. How do we live, and how do we access these higher frequencies of our own spirit? And my path, my process, my life has been 100%, 98% surrendered to Divine Mother. And for me, Divine Mother is everything. She gives birth to everything. She is everything. She's everything. If you open your eyes, if you close your eyes, everything made manifest, everything unmanifest. Shakti. So this is the energy for me that I can tune to stay in that conscious state of flow. So for me, what happens when I allow myself to move into a devotional space, what I'm actually doing on the physiological level is I'm giving my nervous system a chance to relax. And this is super, super, super important if you want to be accessing a flow state. So we are living a lot with a lot of information and feedback coming in all the time. And how do we navigate all of these energies? So for me, relaxing the nervous system comes, it allows me to, this devotion, this active devotion allows me to really rest inside and to offer my life, my experience up to something that's greater than myself. You hear this a lot in the program, Friends of Bill, and the any kind of Alcoholics Anonymous or anything like that, is this level of surrender to the divine will help to pull you forward, because then it's not like you're doing this on your own. You have support, and the support team is actually waiting and online, but they're waiting for us to invite them in. So that's kind of the thing I've been playing with in these last couple of days, and it's coming up a lot around the women's circle that was asked of me to create, was asked of me by my spirit, and was then reflected by me from several people outside of this desire and this wanting to come together and to practice opening up second chakra. And I said yes. I was a yes from the beginning, and then the yes becomes a little bit sludgy, and then the yes becomes a little bit unclear, and then I have to take a step and just recenter myself and connect back to this devotional piece and really ask from this devotional piece, like, is this something that wants to be created through me, with me? So if this is so, this is me having conversation with Divine Mother. So if this is so, then I ask for your assistance to spread the message, to get the word out, to help me to attract these beings and these sisters that are wanting to come together for this level of work. I know in the last couple of days I've been very playful around it, and this is kind of how I work and how I see evolution, or the chance to evolve kind of happening. For me, it goes a lot through play. But we create this sacred container of play so that then we can do really deep and profound healing work on ourselves. So this weekend that will come together is not only about Well, it's totally about getting to know who you are and feeling yourself as a sexual, sacred, sassy, strong being. But it's also to create the space and the container so that we can come together and heal some of the traumas that we've been holding on to, kind of unraveling some of the deeper patterns that have kept us in a place where we are maybe stuck or stagnant. So this is this is the prayer that I've been holding is for all of us to wake up to this unseen possibility of support. And it takes a lot of faith and a lot of trust to rest into this space and to know that the support is there. So I always have to activate these parts of myself with a little game. And I want to invite you just to start small. So if you're working with something, just start having conversations on a daily basis with your devotion. You don't have to be devoted to Divine Mother. That's just what I call the energy of Source, because for me, that's the creative pulse that I want to connect into. But for you, it can be something totally different. So it's just super cool and super important for us to start to play with these energies, start to ask, start to get intimate with them, start to feel what they feel like coming in your body. If you tuned in a few days ago, I was talking about how the wisdom of Divine Mother always comes in from my left, and I know it's her. And so anyway, back to this. Start small. Practice starting small. If you feel overwhelmed with life, just take a break. Let yourself kind of expand. Guru Singh talks about these first two, the cervical vertebrae, how important they are to help us to have this trust and faith. So really on a physical level, allow your body to wake up, right? This is the very top of where the Kundalini sits, at the occiput, just right here in the base of the spine. So each and every day, as a suggestion of how to attune your human to your spirit that's so generous and always bringing gifts, is to work with the spine, work with the central column. This we call the Sushumna Nadi, but the central column, it just is what holds the energy, right? So we think about these chakras and the different waves of energy that are moving our body, but they're all located in this central channel. So on a daily basis, it's really important to clean. Cleaning for me is why I think the symbol of the bruja, of the witch with a broom, is so significant, because as humans coming down, as spiritual beings coming down to have this human experience, the most important thing we can do is clean. So this part for me, that's why devotion is so helpful, because now I have an offering. It's like an exchange that goes back and forth with this invisible energy that holds it all together. So if I can, going back to this weekend that we're having with women, hi, whoever's sending love, I love it. My prayer, my desire is to attract with my frequency, with my central channel being strong, is to attract the others that are ready to do this work in this way, in this time, in this particular configuration. So, like I said, I know it's been super fun and playful these last couple of days, and I'm doing hip circles and a lot of that, which is totally part of me. And then yesterday it just really hit me of how important it is to remind everyone that this is the work of Divine Mother. This is the work of a greater energy that wants to usher us forward and to help us to free ourselves from any of these stories or baggage and things that we have been holding on to for so long. So I love how life always gives us the gifts. I go in and out of these things. I get really excited, and then the energy is really strong and poppy, and it feels really alive, and then something happens, and then I start to deteriorate. And that's what had been already happening. And so this wave of energy, I had a very strong meeting yesterday with Divine Mother, and she wanted me to tell you all that this is the work of hers. This has nothing to do with, let's come together and have a super fun. This is deep transformational work. So if you're ready for that, let's come. And I'm super stoked to play with you and, see which kind of what kind of tools we can help and use to free ourselves. So I think that's it for today. I don't know if you guys have any questions or if this feels helpful, but I guess to wrap up, the things that I find most helpful in accessing the flow state is this element of surrender, which can feel super overwhelming. But for me, it's really helpful to surrender to a higher being, which I have affectionately connected with as Divine Mother. And for me, she's everything. And she keeps giving me gifts after gifts after gifts, and she will do the same for you. Whatever the energy is, play with it. Ask it to connect with you. Ask it for support. Ask those unseens to get off their ass and start giving you signs. And yes, it's totally okay to speak to them in that way, because everything is benevolent. So even if you're having some energy or some aggression in your body and you're feeling like you're being unheard and unseen and unmet and the universe has just forgotten you, it's okay to say, fuck you, I need help. But in that space of desperation is a real invitation to get on your knees and surrender to this energy that wants to be moving you, that wants to open your heart, that wants to give you the greatest life possible. So I hope this is helpful. If you guys want to hear more of this blah blah, let me know and I'll keep them coming. I'm using these videos as a launching off point for what I'm writing about, so I hope it's helpful. If you guys have questions or you want to share some thoughts of what you're working on, that would be super cool. Maybe give a little dialogue and conversation so that we can explore. All right, you guys. So that's it for today, and I hope you have a beautiful day. If you are interested in our Pulse Women's Weekend, it's coming up in a couple weeks, and it's the first time I'm hosting an overnight at my home. It's not true. It's totally not the first time I'm hosting an overnight. It's just been many years, many moons. And I'm so excited to pray and do ritual with you all in this beautiful hive that's been holding us for eons. So lots of love. Namaste. Blessings.